Good Friday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's go outside and take a quick look outside our weather window, and kind of a messy one out there this afternoon across all of north central Washington. This was looking back from our Rondo Sky-Fi Tower camera back towards Wenatchee, and that's Turtle Rock right there. And you can see the snow was flying this afternoon. We had a pretty good mix of rain here in the Wenatchee area with that snow, but boy, some pretty impressive snow totals around our area. And we have some snow totals projected by the time we get into tonight. And look at that, 6 to 8 inches of snow possible up around the Winthrop area. It's been coming down there. I understand about 3 to 4 inches on the ground at news time. Wenatchee, not so much of accumulation, maybe an inch or so, and just some rain showers in the Moses Lake area mixed with a few snowflakes. But temperatures as we move into the weekend are going to get cold. Look at that low temperature Saturday of 30. Time we get to Sunday morning, 20. Monday morning, 21 in Wenatchee. And Tuesday, a low temperature of 26. How about those Spokane temperatures? 11 on Sunday and Monday. So yeah, Arctic air funneling behind this system, and we will tell you more about that and weather coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Washington State on Thursday surpassed 100,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19 since the first case was confirmed back in February. As younger students make their way back into classrooms in Chelan and Douglas counties, the Chelan-Douglas health officer says there's no evidence so far of any COVID-19 transmission in schools, and 911 service was out for about a half hour in much of the state yesterday afternoon, including right here in north central Washington. But first, we begin tonight. A man was killed in an early morning fire today in East Wenatchee. The fire was reported at about 5 a.m. in the 2500 block of Sunset Highway just outside city limits. Douglas County Fire District 2 and Chelan County Fire District 1 responded. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office said the man was the only person in that home. A portion of the highway was closed for about 3 hours while firefighters worked on the blaze. Kay McKellar, spokeswoman for the fire district, said the fire burned a home and a two-car garage. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office is investigating. Washington State on Thursday surpassed 100,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19 since the first case was confirmed back in February. The State Department of Health called it a, quote, sad and sobering milestone, unquote. As of yesterday, the state was at 100,525 cases out of almost 2.3 million people who have been tested. 8,183 people have been hospitalized by the virus, and 2,289 people have died from COVID-19 in Washington state. Well, as younger students make their way back into classrooms in Chelan and Douglas counties, the Chelan-Douglas health officer says there's no evidence so far of any COVID-19 transmission in schools. In fact, Dr. Malcolm Butler said kids may be safer in school than at home.
Schools have returned now to hybrid teaching. We're beginning to bring back, or we will soon bring back, kindergarten through second or fourth grades. Middle school is more challenging because that group moves around more. High school is the most challenging, so we're not going to bring them back until we make sure that we can bring the elementary age kids back safely. The good news, I'm crossing my fingers when I say this, is that so far there's no evidence of any transmission happening within our schools. And I actually think kids may be safer at school than they are at home. And that's because at school, everybody is wearing masks, everything is wiped down 2 or 3 times a day, the hands are washed, everybody uses all of the COVID precautions. So the message is school is safe.
And coming up later in the newscast in our feature story, we'll have Dr. Butler's thoughts on whether trick-or-treating is a good idea this Halloween. Well, 911 service was out for about a half hour in much of the state yesterday afternoon, and that includes right here in north central Washington. The Chelan County Sheriff advised people to use Rivercom's non-emergency line during the outage. In Grant County, the Sheriff's Office said people could still text 911 for emergencies or use a non-emergency line during the outage. 911 service went out just before 4:30 Thursday afternoon and was restored just before 5 p.m. Washington State Emergency Management said it's investigating the cause of the outage, which was reported on both sides of the Cascades. Well, coming up next, area realtors are offering grant funds to help victims of this year's wildfires with housing costs. Representative Dan Newhouse will have a full day of meetings and tours with officials from Okanagan County this Monday, October 26th. And as the season's first winter storm hits much of the region this weekend, state officials have two pieces of advice for motorists. I'll tell you what they are when we come back. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
As the sun sets on another hot summer, let the experts at Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa winterize and close your pool. Closing your swimming pool is the most important service to get right. Letting the professionals from Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa close your pool will ensure that you won't cost yourself thousands of dollars in damage next year. Want to save a little money? Consider dropping the water level yourself and save. Don't wait. Blue Lagoon's pool closing schedule is filling up quickly. Call today.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Welcome back. In another news, area realtors are offering grant funds to help victims of this year's wildfires with housing costs. The grants from the North Central Washington Association of Realtors are for people affected by the Pearl Hill Fire in Douglas County, the Apples Acres Fire in Chelan County, and the Cold Springs Fire in Okanagan County. Qualified applicants can receive help with either monthly mortgages or rental costs. The assistance is limited to no more than $1,000 per household, and the deadline for applications is January 8th. Application information is available at the NCWAR website at ncwar.realtor.com or by calling 509-663-1211. Representative Dan Newhouse will have a full day of meetings and tours with officials from Okanagan County this Monday, October 26th. First, at 1 p.m., he'll host a meeting at Mid-Valley Hospital in Omak with healthcare officials and hospital administrators from Okanagan County to discuss their ongoing efforts to combat COVID-19 and increase access to care. And then at 2:30, he'll host a wildfire recovery roundtable at the Elks Club in Omak with law enforcement, first responders, emergency management staff, local officials, tribes, and community leaders to discuss recovery efforts for the recent wildfires as well as preventative measures. Newhouse will then end his day at 3:45 with a tour of the Cold Springs fire damage along with Okanagan County Sheriff Hawley. They'll drive through the damage, including the Omak Mill, and end at a nearby ranch surrounded by burn damage. Well, as the season's first winter storm hits much of the region this weekend, state officials have two pieces of advice for motorists. First, studded tires are not legal until November 1st. It would take a major snow event to move that date up, and nothing like that is in the forecast. Second, if you're headed over a pass, practice putting on your vehicle chains ahead of time. Chains were required on Stevens Pass this morning, the first such requirement of the season. Regional Washington State Patrol Information Officer Trooper John Bryant says practicing will make things much easier later and potentially save you a $503 fine.
Hello everybody, Trooper Bryant here. It's Thursday, a nice sunny day. I'm in a driveway. what's going to happen tomorrow. Possibly snow throughout the region, especially along the passes. If you're going to travel and don't have a four-wheel, all-wheel drive vehicle with good snow tires, what should you have with you? Chains. Put a couple examples down here for you. There's the cable type and the chain type. They're easy to put on if you do what? Practice. By practicing in your driveway when it's nice and dry, you'll be ready when you're on that pass and chains are required and it's snowing or icy and cold. Now your hands are going to get dirty. That's just a fact of life when you put on chains, but you'll know how to do it, and you'll know how to do it safely and quicker than you normally would because you practice and follow the instructions. Also remember, you got to reduce your speed limit when you have those chains on. So let's get some practice out while it's nice. Make it a family thing. Have some games so you can do it the best. So good luck this winter, folks.
You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Mary Maids of Wenatchee has been professionally cleaning and sanitizing homes and businesses in north central Washington since 1998. Mary Maids uses commercial-grade cleaners and viricides. Mary Maids has implemented additional safety and sanitation protocols. They are strictly following CDC guidelines for the safety of their clients and employees. For expert help with cleaning and sanitizing your home or business, call or look up Mary Maids of Wenatchee to schedule your free estimate today.
Hope, oxygen to your soul, color in your world, a light to your future.
Difficult to qualify and quantify,
yet you know when it's lacking.
So many things have promised us hope,
but have left us feeling hopeless and empty.
Real hope is able to stand firm even on the darkest day of the soul, and still say with the prophet Jeremiah,
"For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord.
Plans to prosper you and not to harm you.
Plans to give you a hope and a future."
The Apostle Paul declared to a young church in Rome,
"May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace,
as you trust in him,
so that you may overflow with hope
by the power of the Holy Spirit."
If our God is a God of hope, then maybe it's your turn to experience a hope that cannot be shaken
or destroyed.
And maybe it's time to hope again.
Maybe it's time to become a generation of hope.
What if the same God that raised Christ Jesus from the dead
can resurrect your hope?
Maybe it's time to hope again.
I have fiber at home because it allows me to do a great job in my profession. It allows me to learn things that I need to learn at home. It allows my kids to hopefully one day be able to be educated because of what they learned online and what they learned from their teachers. And it allows us to have fun too as a family. And we're able to do a lot of things because of fiber internet. I'm Rudy, and my family learns with fiber.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. The Chelan Douglas Health District is urging parents not to let their kids go trick-or-treating this year. In tonight's feature story and his weekly video update on COVID-19, Health Officer Dr. Malcolm Butler said yesterday that kids going door-to-door is, quote, an incredibly bad idea, unquote.
And I know Halloween is a very exciting time, especially for our kids. And I have to tell you, if I was an evil virus and I wanted to design the perfect holiday to make sure that I could spread myself around the community, what I would do is encourage young people with a sweet tooth to go crazy mad on candy, running house to house to house to house, passing infection around. It's an incredibly bad idea to go trick-or-treating in the middle of a pandemic. And that's hard to hear, and it's just one more thing that's going to make 2020 a very unique year. So this Halloween needs to be a Halloween where we stay home and focus on family. You stay home and carve pumpkins, you make candied apples. If you need to hunt down candy, go ahead and spread it around the house or out in the yard, just like at Easter, and send your kids out after the candy for trick-or-treat. If you do go out to pumpkin farms, you're outdoors. It's much safer to be outdoors. Make sure you wear your masks. Make it as fun as you need to, but please do not ask your kids to go house to house to house this year. It just doesn't make good sense. There are some community events that are being sponsored with a lot of attention to safety, and largely those are being held outdoors. So those also would be alternatives if your kids just really need to get out.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. It's Friday and we're headed for the upcoming weekend, and it's going to feel more like maybe a December or January weekend than it is October. This is what it's looking like, or did look like, this afternoon outside our weather window. Dark clouds hanging over the valley. All of North Central Washington picked up either snow or a snow rain mix, or here in Wenatchee just all rain at times this afternoon, and it looks like that's going to continue. We'll get to that, more on that in a second. But high temperatures today, it was crazy out there today. 36 was our overnight low, 36 also our unofficial high, and 36 is supposed to be our overnight low tonight. So our temperature is just holding steady right there. 57 is our normal high temperature, so it was a cold one today. 69 our record high back in 1992. 38 our normal low, and 29 was our record, and that was in 1980. I put 0 up here for precipitation. Obviously, we've been seeing a rain-snow mix. Didn't just get any updated totals from the Weather Service, but we will update that for you on Monday. I'm sure we'll get at least a tenth or 2/10 before this is over. Sunrise this morning, 7:32, and the sun will set now tonight at 5:57. Let's take a peek at how your Saturday shapes up as we kick off the upcoming weekend. We are going to see sun. It will dry out tomorrow, but temperatures, they're going to be about the same as today, maybe a few ticks warmer. 42 in Moses Lake, and then a lot of lower 40s and 40. Wenatchee, Quincy, and Ephrata. Also, Aniat and Chelan will be about 40. The cool spot, Lake Wenatchee tomorrow with a lot of snow. High temperature there about 34 degrees. Surface loop now. Tonight we will see a 90% chance for mainly light snow as it gets dark. Maybe some rain mixed in. Snow overnight too until about 3 a.m. or so. Most of it then will move through Montana as this area of low pressure continues to dive to the south. A bit of a ridge of high pressure will begin to build on Saturday, but I'll tell you what, cold air all throughout the central and western part of the United States. Partly cloudy by afternoon on Saturday and still cold with temperatures struggling, as we showed you, to make 40 degrees. For Sunday, record low temperatures possible. We talked about that at the top of the newscast. About 21 for the overnight low Sunday. Mostly sunny in the afternoon, but unseasonably cold. There is that cold Arctic air sliding all the way down into the middle part of Texas as we get into the first part of next week. It's still going to be cold with temperatures below normal as we kick off our next work week. The good news, this blue, and that's the cold air beginning to erode away. And as we get into Tuesday, partly cloudy skies. It will be a little bit warmer. High pressure will be in control of our weather as we get into the first part of next week. And look what happens. We begin to warm up even back into Montana, who will be in the single digits throughout the week. They will warm up, increasing clouds Wednesday. It will be just a little bit warmer then as we jump back into the 50s. Excuse me. And then by Thursday, we do have some nice weather on the way. Increasing clouds, as we mentioned, on Wednesday. Thursday, mostly cloudy. Maybe an isolated shower late just from this band of showers right here. It could move in late on Thursday. The good news, we are going to warm up. We are talking high temperatures in eastern and central Washington Thursday in the upper 50s to near 60 degrees. Let's take a look now at your Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling 7-day forecast. 30 degrees overnight tonight. That'll be one of the warmer nights over the next couple of days. Partly cloudy and cold for Saturday. 41 the high. That could be a record low of 20 degrees. Sunny and cold Sunday, 21. Also could be an overnight low record. We'll keep our eye on that over the weekend. Mostly sunny then on Monday and 42, and then a slow warm up as we get into the mid and latter part of the week. By Thursday, partly cloudy with a high temperature then of 58 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
You love to help others. You need a solid career. You can have it all with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take patient vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain medical records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, visit chartercollege.edu, because we work to get you to work.
Hi, my name is Blaine Johnson. I'm at Global Elite Motors. We're tied in with Global Car Care down here locally. So we're not your typical car buying experience. Somebody can come down here, take a look at what we have, and if we have the right vehicle for you, we'd be glad to help you out with it. A lot of times we are able to go out and find specific vehicles for somebody so that it fits their needs, their budget, and all the things that you want without you being obligated right away. If you're looking for a good, reliable car, come see me, Blaine Johnson, down at Global Elite Motors.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Kerry Condata. This is the 12th District TV show, aired 8 times every week on NCWLIFE TV. We cover business and politics like no one else does it because I've been there and done it. 30 years self-employed, 16 years in the House of Representatives, and 12 years running campaigns across the state of Washington. That resume means you're getting information you can't get anywhere else. This is the 12th District. I'm Kerry Condata.
It's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Friday to you. The man who is the catalyst behind the sports complex at Wenatchee Valley College will finally have his name attached to it. Sandy Coopretter, who retired in 2015 after teaching, coaching, and mentoring at WVC for 44 years, will have his name permanently attached to the fields he helped build. The college's Board of Trustees announced Wednesday that the complex that includes Paul Thomas Sr. Baseball Stadium, North Rotary Fast Pitch Field, Mike Hollis Soccer Field, and the multipurpose field will be known collectively as the Sandy Coopretter Sports Complex, or make that Fields Complex. There will be a naming ceremony when gatherings are safely allowed. The complex will feature a plaque honoring Coopretter and detailing his legacy at Wenatchee Valley College. Well, for the first time in 244 days, the Wenatchee Wild played hockey. Okay, it was against themselves, but it's still hockey. The Blues played the Whites in a scrimmage at the Frontier Ice Arena in Coeur d'Alene yesterday, with the Blues coming out on top 6-5. Maxis Brahmanis scored 2 goals in a losing effort for the White team, also lighting the lamp were his teammates Luke Gallagher, Owen Bone, and Jack Lambert. That's a good name. Winning Blue team got goals each from Copeland Fricker, Cy Leclerc, Tyson Shaw, Derek Humphreys, Bear Hughes, and Aiden Cobb. The two teams play against each other again tonight in Idaho. Well, here's what we have on tap for the weekend on the NCWLIFE channel as far as sports is concerned. Begins tonight, Big Nine football with last year Wenatchee Panthers and Sunnyside Grizzlies. 2 o'clock matinee tomorrow features girls soccer from last October when Wenatchee hosted West Valley. Then at 6 is a rebroadcast of WVSO from a race on July 18th. Sunday's doubleheader, girls soccer on the pitch, Cashmere and Cascade at 2, Moses Lake and Wenatchee at 7 o'clock. Game 3 of the World Series is also on tap tonight in Arlington, Texas. All things tied up at a game apiece. Tonight's pitching matchup is a dandy. Walker Buehler goes for the Dodgers, who's 1-0 this postseason with a 1.89 ERA. He'll go up against Tampa Bay's Charlie Morton, who's 3-0 in the postseason, and his ERA just .57. Game's underway at Globe Life Field. You can watch the action on Fox. Well, the Seahawks game against Arizona has been flexed by the NFL to a night game on Sunday. Seattle's 5-0, while the Cardinals are 4-2 heading into the contest. It was supposed to be a 1:05 kickoff. The game that was originally for the night schedule on Sunday, Las Vegas and Tampa Bay, was moved because several of the Raiders' offensive linemen had to go into quarantine because of COVID-19. Arizona offense, by the way, is run by second-year quarterback Kyler Murray. He's thrown 10 touchdown passes this year. He's ran for another 6. Seattle linebacker Bobby Wagner says you have to be prepared for anything with Murray, especially in the red zone.
Yeah, I mean, if you're watching me so fast, and a lot of people, when you get down there, you got all the weapons. You got D-Hop, you got Fitzgerald, you got Drake, you got so many different people that sometimes you forget that he's a weapon too. So they'll start the play, make it seem like it's a pass play, and then he'll just take off and run it in, and it'll be a design draw. And so we just need to be conscious that he is a part of the run game, he is part of the pass game, and we need to have our eyes on him at all times.
Defensive coordinator Ken Norton Jr. says the bye week afforded he and his coaching staff a chance to reevaluate their side of the football and see what could be done to improve.
After 5 weeks, and we're only 5 games in, it feels like it's been so long, but we still have a lot of football left. So I think that all of us come together and we do the self-scout, talk about the goals that we had to start the season, talk about where we are now and how do we get exactly to that place where we expected to be. And obviously we like to keep the yards down because, a lot of us are evaluated by how many yards you get because the offenses are so open and like they are now. But at the same time, we're improving in a lot of positions. At the same time, taking the ball away, giving the ball back to the offense, and short yards and things like that are things that we're been doing well at. But we're trying to be perfect in all situations. But that's not going to happen. But we're striving for it.
The focus on Murray is oftentimes about what he does with his feet and moving around in the pocket, extending plays, and creating yardage on the ground. But Seattle strong safety Quandre Diggs has a different perspective when it comes to Kyler Murray.
I think a lot of people overlook that he actually can throw the ball really well. You know what I mean? I think I've been watching Kyler for so long. You know what I mean? He's a Texas guy. He's never lost a high school game, you know what I mean? So I've always kind of knew of who he was. I always watched him, and he's always thrown the ball extremely well. He's a baseball player. He's quick. He's fast. He can do everything, you know what I mean? So I never sleep on him throwing the ball because, everybody's so going over the top about how crazy of an athlete he is, how fast he is, you know what I mean? But, he can throw the ball really, really well, and he can throw it really accurate. So I'll never overlook that.
The Seahawks are beginning a stretch of 4 division games in the next 5 weeks. Seattle at Arizona kicks off 5:20 on Sunday Night Football on NBC. Good news for Seattle fans is that the Seahawks seem to play really well on the primetime games. The games are close, but it would be nice to get a blowout once in a while. Maybe on Sunday. We'll see about that. Have a great weekend. Be safe and sane. Watch out for the snow and slick roads. I'll see you on Monday. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And as we leave you on this Friday, let's just say it was a rather delicate job. But Department of Natural Resources workers were able to rescue a skunk with a bottle stuck on its head. It was found on Loop Loop State Forest Road in Okanagan County. The DNR reported today that they were able to remove the jar with both human and skunk unharmed. DNR said the incident is a timely reminder about not dumping garbage on public land. If you have a video of the day that you'd like to see on the NCW Life Evening News, all you need to do is message us on our Facebook page at the NCW Life channel. Now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up Monday morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thank you very much, Grant. I hope everybody has a fantabulous weekend. I hope you stay warm, and I hope you start your next week Monday with us here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I have a very important and a really neat interview with a gentleman by the name of Cortland Martin. Cortland Martin is a 10-year veteran of the United States Navy. He is back in the civilian world, and he has started a foundation called the Tour of Duty Foundation, and he's looking to get a little help from us here in the North Central Washington area. Very important interview. You don't want to miss it on Monday morning, and everything else you need to start your next work week. Monday morning live at 7 a.m. for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Go Dodgers! Boy, that's so hard for me to say. Grant, back to you.
Go Dodgers. That's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or just give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great weekend.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
In the heart of the Wenatchee Valley lies a unique Ford and Lincoln dealership. This is Pat Armstrong Ford Lincoln, home of the lifetime warranty. Pat Armstrong Ford's mission is to exceed your expectations by taking pride in making your car buying experience as comfortable and timely as possible. This mission is consistent in every department, including parts, service, and sales. We are community strong and community safe in East Wenatchee.